We are now in Castrojeriz, or Castrojeriz, one of the most important towns on the Camino, and actually one of the towns in the Camino with the longest main road where the Camino goes through. A town where many battles have been fought. As you can see, I'm walking upwards. It's on a hill dominated by a castle, so a position that was, very important. And so Christians and Moors fought many times to take over this town, which was finally taken over in the 7th century, and which became now mandatory stop on the Camino. I ended my day here yesterday. I continue my day here today. So let's see where we will go. And something pretty interesting about this town also is that it was built and was surrounded by walls. Parts of it are still visible, but very little. And these walls are said to be haunted, actually, because there was a princess that was murdered here by nonetheless her brother. So yeah, quite some crime here, but this is it, Castrojeriz, and its beautiful historical center. A very nice walk, a very great day, great way to start the day. Just behind me is the very last spot of interest here in Castrojeriz, which is the Iglesia de San Juan, or San Juan Church. And it's quite interesting because on top of the facade there's a pentacle, and this pentacle is something that if we observe, it will remind us of symbols that are used in pagan rituals or in rituals related to the devil, so it's kind of natural to wonder, what is this doing here, right? Well, there is a point actually, because this was built already over 4 centuries ago, and the pentagon symbol just became associated with cults and with the devil maybe over 150 years ago. So what we see there is actually a symbol that means rebirth, means energy, has all sort of different meaning. So don't get confused, don't think there's some very negative ritual or something going on there. It's just that over the course of the history, the very same symbol has changed meaning, as we know also for other symbols like the cross used by the Nazis. So just remind that, have a look. I will add the video. It's very interesting, and I think it's also quite surprising. The first time I saw it, I was quite shocked, and I really had to Google why was that. And then I found out, of course, that there's nothing bad with it. So that's it for Castrojeriz. On my walk, probably I will go to Frómista today, but we'll see where the Camino will take me. So there could be some surprises. But I'm energized because you can feel that spring is in the air today. We had a lot of days with clouds, rain, strong winds, and today's, at least the morning, it's a little bit better. And I think that's putting a good mood, me and the birds that are singing non-stop since I left the albergue over a half hour ago. So yeah, I'm just gonna tune into their frequencies and let their good vibes transport me to the next stop on the Camino. Yeah, okay, I thought it was gonna be easy, but it's not, because right after Castrojeriz I have 200 meters that to gain in less than 2 kilometers and it looks quite steep, so it's not as flat as I thought it would be, but somebody told me that the view from up there is amazing, so it's going to be really worth it. Just stay with me, wait for it, okay, and if I make it to the top I'll show a nice video. I think we're about to start with the climb. It's a short one, but it's still quite steep, as you can see just behind me. The nice thing is that the sun is gonna be high up there, and I think I'm gonna get warm anyway from the climb because there's a bit of cold there. But oh, somebody wrote here start on the ground. That's nice. Well, the thing that I really like about these climbs, the ups and downs when you have the Camino, that they teach you a lot. It's a good way to understand that the Camino is not a race, and so whenever you have such a steep part of the Camino, there's no need to run. Actually, you're probably going to be walking 25 kilometers on a day like this, so starting the day and going through the climb without even taking a break is going to consume a lot of your energies already. Because the moment your heart starts beating fast, well, your gasoline fuel, your tank empties way faster. So let's enjoy it. Sun is just shining, and I think that's giving me the start to begin this climb, to take it easy, and I'll see you in a few minutes at the top. Well, I can see the summit, which is good, but as always, I miscalculate everything. So I thought, oh, it's getting closer, and it still looks freaking far. And the problem is that now I see it, so I know how far it is, But I'm almost there. So yeah, is this another pain cave? No, I don't think so. But I gotta go slowly, and we'll get there eventually. So also there's no reason to rush because the landscape is just beautiful and should be enjoyed. I made it to the top. Sun is again shining, which is good. I feel the energy of this. It wasn't easy, but as I got to the top, I actually got colder. So now I have to cover myself. I'm not that warm anymore. And yeah, I think we're getting started for real with the Mesetas. But before we go on to that, I want to talk to you about this little place here that you see behind me, which actually is what you could call like a cemetery for volunteers, for hospitaleros. Every time an hospitalero dies, they plant a tree and they throw the ashes if the hospitalero is okay with that. So what you see here is like more like a symbolical on a cemetery, but for those that are hospitaleros like me, it's a comforting idea to know that the day you will pass away, you will still be here on the Camino, guarding over the pilgrims that are walking over the Mesetas. Having said this, I finally also met some pilgrims, which is nice, just to know that I'm not alone, and I'm really looking forward to what's ahead. So buen camino, and see you, well, wherever the Camino will take me. Here we are. There was a beautiful view there. There's another viewpoint equally amazing here. imagine this used to be all forest now, and then of course a few centuries ago it was turned into farming terrain, the Mesetas of Spain. So let's get ready. Let's see where we will go today. Thank you for watching this video. I should say like and subscribe finally. No, but I'm really happy. Again, if you haven't done the Camino, but if you're watching this video, yeah, probably you should do the Camino then. In Camino, like in life, not everything goes as planned. So when I set off from Castrojeriz today, I thought I would be boarding this boat at 1 p.m. and sailing 4 kilometers on the Camino while learning more about the Canal de Castilla. But I was too slow, even though I woke up earlier. And I really felt bad for it because I was looking forward to this. But that is, you know, like the Camino teaches you to have patience, forgive yourself for the mistakes you make, like calculating the time wrongly, and just go on. And so here we are, the Canal de Castilla, over 300 kilometers of waterways that were built to connect the Mesetas, where cereals were harvested, to the harbors of Santander in the north of Spain. It was a majestic, actually, engineering work, but there was a bit to hold for this time because during the construction of the canal, the railway became actually the new waterways. So transport by rail became much more easier, much more affordable. It didn't require all this equipment that we have for the canal, and so it took over. But the canal is still here. You can sail part of it, you can walk around it. Sorry, the canal is still here. You can sail around it, and it's still keeping company to the pilgrims. So I think I will see more of it tomorrow on my next day of Camino. A reminder, unfortunately, that next time I should plan better, but also a reminder that not everything in life will go